This video is an introduction to law. In law there are 7 main branches of law, and we're just going to go through them now. So the first one is contract law. Contract law is about the agreements between two parties on a private basis. There has to be a consideration. That means that there needs to be a payment. Tort is concerned with imposing a liability on the basis of a statutory duty. For example, if someone visits your property, you have a duty to ensure they don't come to any harm as a result of being of something related to the property itself. The reason these matters are in tort is because they wouldn't meet the terms of forming a contract. For example, in negligence, you have a party who might have a duty on them, but they're not part of the original agreement. A retailer selling something to a customer, there is a liability on the manufacturer and a negligence law because the manufacturer's made the product, but of course the manufacturer is not actually part of the contract to the retailer. The contract exists at the retailer to the customer contract. Manufacturers outside of that. Public law, this is concerned with constitutional law and judicial review. That's constitutional law is would be something to do with the actual power within the political system and how that were exercised. Land law is about buying, leasing land, sort of contract, borders on equity and trust as well. Important in English law especially. All land in England actually belongs to the Queen. Criminal law is its own branch of law, has its own court system. That's when you have a liability imposed by the Crown itself. For example, you can't commit fraud, or you can't throw a rock out the window. In criminal law there doesn't necessarily have to be a victim. You might be, for example, naked in the street. There's no actual victim if you're naked in the street, but it's still a crime because the Crown believes that you shouldn't be naked in the street. Equity and trusts. This is a fairly complex area of law, and this is all to do with wills, and it's all to do with owning something, having an ownership of something. Then we've got EU law, an area of law which a lot of law students do not like. EU law is concerned with law about trade within the European Union, and that's it. They're the main branches of law, and all of this law here is mostly civil law, and you've got the criminal law here, which is its own distinct branch of law. The criminal law is really different to the rest of it because it's still the police enforce this, and it has its own court system, and there doesn't need to be in the criminal law system. There's no it's not an agreement between two parties. It's the actual state itself imposing a liability.